want to give y'all, but I can't because I need a job. So sorry in advance, you know?
Yes. We're honored to have you, and we're looking forward to seeing you. You're going to be our fairy godfather. Usually I do vision calls on Thursday nights. So you're the vision that's made a calling to be here and make all of our dreams come true. Cutting
I
characters.
love it. Hey, I'll be that for y'all. If there's anything I can give you, that's what I'm here for. So hopefully everyone's going to convention too, right? Is anyone not able to go this year?
I'm not. Amy.
It's all good. You are going to hear about some crazy stuff, and I'm going to talk to everybody to see if we can possibly do this again after, like I said, because I would love to strategize a little bit more with you guys and talk about some important things. Again, can't say anything, but it's gonna be good. We'll definitely want to chat. So we'll fill you in. No worries.
Good.
Are we recording this? Is Kara on?
Yeah, Kara's recording it.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kara. Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Yep.
I'm probably going to mute everyone when Dyllan, if you want me to, Dyllan, or?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Just so there's no like feedback or anything like that. And then you just honestly just let me know when to start. I'll talk all day long if you let me. So you just let me know when to go, and we'll go from there.
We'll give it like one more minute or so, and
Awesome.
get the rest of our team on.
Perfect. I'm in my day with you guys anyway, so that's a great end of the day for me. I get to connect with a team that's in momentum and is excited, and that pumps me up. And then I get to go home and see my baby, and I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Of course.
We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. I love doing team calls, honestly. It's a lot of fun for me whenever I get to connect with the team, not only the leaders, but the team who, you guys drive everything that goes on in our businesses. So it's cool to see you face to face or screen to screen, whatever it is, because I look at numbers all day long, unfortunately. And like, not saying you all are numbers to me, you're more than that. But when I'm pulling reports and going through on the phone with Kara and all that, that's all I can see. So it's cool for me to actually see you in person,
You can put
And at convention too, y'all definitely, if you see me out at convention, please come up. I would love to meet you. That would be incredible. Shake your hand, gush about how awesome it is so far. It's going to be amazing, like right off the bat. So it's going to be really cool. Let me see. Like I said, Carrie, just let me know when I'm good to go.
You know what? Go ahead and get started. We're recording. So if this is it, or if they're jumping on, they can catch the recording. So go ahead.
Awesome. So I just want to introduce myself real fast. I know I've connected with just a few of you before, but I would love for you all to know a little bit about me, just like I hear about you all the time. So I'm Dyllan Wild. I'm one of the regional business coaches. We've actually just went through a name change where we're field development advisors. I'm still trying to get used to that. I'm still just going to say I'm a coach for right now. But I've been with Plexus for about 5 years. Actually, June 23rd is my 5-year anniversary. The cool thing about that is I've been able to go in between multiple departments within this company. I started off in the compliance department, which gave me a really good understanding of why we put certain things in place and really how network marketing companies work all together. Unfortunately, I didn't like the whole calling people and saying, hey, I have to terminate you or I have to suspend you, right? Because those are never the fun calls. It taught me how to put my, it's called the Disney voice on though. That's what the person who trained me actually down the compliance, she said, if you say, if you can tell people bad news in a good way, there'll be a little bit more open. That never worked because I told people they were terminated and I got ringed multiple times. So with that being said, that's when I really started to look into other departments to find something that I could do instead of not stunting people's growth, but to really help them out, right? So I was the dual liaison for about a year year and a half, I don't even think a year actually. And then this coaching position came up and I instantly knew this is where I belonged. I love helping individuals out, achieving their dreams, just like you all. I wouldn't say I love looking through numbers, but they definitely tell us a lot about some certain areas in our businesses that we can really focus on. And even more importantly, I love the relationships that you all get to create. And I love being a part of that in some type of way. And if you ever jump on a call with me, you will find out that I am very relationship based with all training, because I feel like this is the relationship building business. That's the core of it, right? Because our products speak for themselves. The compensation plan, they speak for themselves. So only missing tool that you all don't have yet, or I'm not saying you don't have it, but that we don't provide, is how to really build up that relationship and get to know somebody, right? The biggest thing I can tell you, from I connect to senior rubies all the way through diamonds, the one thing that everybody needs to try to keep in the back of their head is get to know these individuals like they are your best friend. Look out into their life and figure out how can Plexus add value. And I love that word, value. Honestly, that is one of the best words that you should remind yourself of every single day, because that's what this company has to offer. And that's what we do, is we add value into each other's lives, right? So there are a few areas that I'm going to go ahead and talk about. And at the end of this call, if anybody has any questions at all, please feel free to unmute yourself and we can go ahead and talk. I'm an open book. If I know something, if I know the answer, I will give it to you. If I don't, I'll be honest and I'll tell you I don't, and I'll find it for you, even more importantly. Alrighty, so a few topics that I want to talk about. Very first, I want to talk about leadership. Okay. Now, it's hard for us as corporate to put a real definition of what leadership looks like, right? But then I look to my leaders in my department. I look to what traits they carry. And I think the biggest thing, again, is one big thing is knowing where you want to go. It's that goal, right? The ultimate goal of what do you want to achieve? What I want to do personally within my role, where I want to go within the company, and what I want to do at the end of that journey too, right? As a leader, and you can be considered a leader at silver, right? Gold, or even a brand new ambassador signed up one person. As long as you have one person up under you, you are a true leader. But really what a true leader is making sure that we are keeping these individuals accountable to the goals that they set, right? And it's not setting goals for them. It's setting goals with them, right? Because I think the biggest thing as that leader too, sometimes we want to take control, and it's not a bad thing, because I've even had to kind of kick myself in the butt and take a look at myself in the mirror and think, you know what, I'm really not helping this individual out. They're not learning anything. They're just literally writing down every single note that every single word that I'm saying, and they're just going to go ahead and try to do exactly what I just taught them or exactly what I just told them. They will never learn and they will never grow from that, right? So to go with that relationship and to go with that goal setting, I think the biggest thing that you want to do while you are really getting to know these individuals before you sign them up is I like to use form as a guideline for that conversation, for the very first conversation, or for the first, I would say 6 to 12. Okay. So what form is, it's friends/family, occupation, recreation, and everyone kind of like looks at me weird when I say this last one, meal, MEAL. All right, I promise you, it goes with supping. All righty. So the reason why I say go ahead and kind of use this as that guideline, as a base of your conversations, is because those are 4 very important areas within everybody's life, right? Friends and family, usually that's going to be the biggest driver that they have when we get into this business, right? Especially family. This is a very family-based company. You see the testimonials all day long about people being able to actually stay at home with their kids for once after 10 years, right? And I think that's one of the coolest things. I mean, I met my fiance here and we had our baby literally 4 months ago. Like, that is incredible that Plexus can, even from the inside out, bring that, right? And we want to use that as, again, that driver to always remind them of, okay, this is why you signed up with me in the first place. This is what you want to do. And it can be considered health-wise, or it can be considered financial gain for your family, right? Occupation speaks for themselves. You want to know what these individuals do for their 9 to 5 type of job, right? Or if they don't have a 9 to 5 job. Again, I'm very blessed in my role and where I work at a company that I'm very passionate about what I do. Most individuals, they don't have that luxury, and that's horrible, right? And I'm not saying go ahead and ask them, hey, are you actually passionate about what you do day to day? Because they're gonna be like, what? Why would you ask me that? But you want to know, like, is this where you saw yourself in a way? Is this something that you see yourself doing 20 years down the road, right? Also, that can go into the financial aspect also, right? If you learn a little bit about their family, maybe Susie over here has 5 kids. She's working a 9 to 5 job, maybe getting paid, minimum wage. She's struggling at this point, and maybe she hasn't even had a family vacation. Something that we can provide is we can talk about even gaining $150 extra a month to put towards that fund, right? And we're going to go ahead and get into those ways of asking those specific questions when it comes to the finances, because I think that has something to do with really promoting the business. Is not coming off as the network marketer saying, hey, you know what, Kara, how can I tell you how to make $5,000 extra a month type of conversation, rather than, again, using form as those guidelines and keeping our eyes open or our mind open to that light bulb moment where, like, this is that one thing that they're going to want to do, right? The occupation, learn about what they do and what they would want to do if they had an open opportunity for any type of job. Recreation, this is a great point to really focus on too, because it's what they like to do outside of that 9 to 5 job and outside of that family, right? What are their hobbies? The cool thing about this too is learning about what they like to do with their hobbies. Once they are interested, or once they catch that vision of what Plexus can do as a business, that's their warm market. That's one place that you can instantly plug them into. If you like gardening, that's where you spend your time every single weekend. You know what? I know of a few places that you can go on Facebook. We can plug them into groups where they can literally just talk about what their hobbies are and create that relationship through that way, right? That is definitely going to help you out to get these individuals right on in to working a little bit more, right? And when I say working, it's sharing, but sharing is selling in a sense, right? In meal, it's not what they ate last night for dinner. It's not their steak dinner that they had. We're talking more of that supplementation and that lifestyle, the healthy eating, or, again, I'm not judging anybody, because I'm guilty of this too, eating fast food every now and then. I'm like addicted to cheeseburgers, I swear, and I could eat those every single night. And that's okay. But we want to know a little bit more, right? And that can go with that family also of supplementation. Does your family take those multivitamins? Are the kids on anything? And if you are taking like a Flintstone vitamin, where are you getting it from? How much does that cost you a month, right? Talk to them about even taking an omega. Most people don't even know what a probio does, right? We have a huge opportunity to really teach them and ask those important questions to them. And even more importantly too, where do they shop? I know that's a weird question, but where do you shop for your groceries? Right? If they're the type of person that shops at Sprouts or Whole Foods, they're kind of they have that green thumb. They like eating more natural. They know what an ancient grain is. I have no idea still to this day what an ancient grain is. But you know what I mean? They know what these little things are that, this person definitely can be that product of the product, because we already know they are very health conscious, right? So again, I love form, and I even use form on my conversations. I don't, ask them, oh, so are you the type of person that shops at Walmart or the type of person that shops over at Sprouts? But I definitely use that as that guidance of, okay, what can I always remind these individuals of? What can I remind them of that important why to motivate them, and again, to guide them a little bit more of like, okay, well, definitely this is the area of opportunity. This is where you want to push. These are the type of messages you want to focus on, right? But altogether, with that being said, what that whole form thing is, it's actually having those conversations with these brand new team members or potentials, right? If you aren't following back up, if you aren't taking the time to actually show interest in them and be invested into them, how do you ever expect them to follow you, right? That's when the whole retention and attrition comes into play. And what I want you to kind of think about right now is, what type of business do you have? Okay, and then that way, I mean, is it a revolving door type of business where you are only focusing in on the growth on a month-to-month basis, but at the same time on that month-to-month, people are leaving? Or do you have the type of business that you have like one door, and you're going in, you're focusing on that duplication, you're focusing on that development, you're taking the time for them to grow, right? And you're seeing that growth on a month-to-month basis. I was actually talking to somebody literally right before this, actually, and I kind of had this like breakthrough moment for myself too. Anybody that we have signed up over the past 90 days, that is still a brand new ambassador. That is somebody that might have not caught this vision yet, right? Or really not even know what they want to do with Plexus. And I think, again, that's a true testament of why we want to follow up with these individuals and be that true leader, because that's what we're doing. We're leading them. We took the time to hear about what's going on with their family and what goals they have financially or health-wise. We need to show them the route to go. Sometimes it's not as fast as we want. I was on a call earlier today with somebody that said she had an ambassador that has been with her for 3 years and finally went silver this month. That's a long journey, right? But she caught it because she was consistent, not only with the products, but she was consistent with this individual, right? Everybody will have their own timeline though. And I think, again, the more and more that you really understand that, and I'm not saying you need to go ahead and treat them as that business builder on a month-to-month end, but if you're seeing they are liking their products, if you're seeing that they are consistent with these products, you better at least send them one message a month and just say, hey girl, hope you're doing well. I see you placed your order again, right? You've been consistently taking the ProBio 5 for the past 3 months. I would love to hear a little bit more about what's working and why are you taking these consistently. It can be just that type of message, right? Or it can just be like, hey, I'm thinking of you. Hope everything's going well with the family. That little message can change the world for these individuals and to change the world of their Plexus journey, even more importantly, right? Sorry, I'm just going back through my notes real fast. Alrighty. So let's go back to the basics real fast, okay? Because something that I want to bring to light, and again, I told you guys I had to look at myself in the mirror quite a few times within this role, just like I'm sure you all have at one point. When I first started, especially within this role, I thought I had to give everybody the diamond game plan, right? And by that, I mean, I have a big old fat notebook. I don't know if this is exactly one, but this is one of the very first notebooks I've ever actually written my notes down and like try to strategize with leaders and use incentives for, for our gain. I gave them so much information and tried to teach them about 50 different things on one specific call that I overwhelmed them. And I totally just got them checked out from me, right? Some people wouldn't answer my calls anymore. And again, I'm being very honest with you all, because I think what I missed out on is how, and again, it's very hard to work this business, but it's simple at the same time, because there's really 4 areas that you all need to focus on a month-to-month end. Alrighty, and we're super nerdy over here, so you can't make fun of me, but we have it in a picture frame. All right, so these are the 4 pillars, and it's not just the 4 pillars of Plexus, it's the 4 pillars of network marketing as a whole. Alrighty, so it's enrollments, developing leaders, duplication, and one of our favorite words, retention. Right? The more and more that I really focused on this and tried to game plan and strategize with individuals, the more I broke it down to really what the 4 pillars are. All right, and y'all can definitely roll your eyes, because I'm sure we have all had this conversation multiple times of what this is. This is silver development. This is really silver development, right? And let's think about that a little bit. Enrollments. 100%, that's how you start. You have to get them signed up, and you have to understand what their ultimate goal is. Everybody's going to have a different timeline. One of the other coaches, back in the day, probably like a year ago, he's no longer with us, but he was like, we're the GPS to their business, right? You plug in the destination, we find the best route to get there. And the biggest thing is sometimes we're going to go off course, but we're always going to put them back on, right? So you have to start out by finding out what their goal is, finding out the pace that they want to go at, stay consistent with those follow-ups, and see where we go. Now, next is duplication, right? You need to really have them understand what the earliest stage activity is. And by that, I mean, where do we want them to be plugged in right off the bat, right? I always go ahead and focus on that circle of trust, right? If you guys have seen the movie Meet the Fockers, where, oh my gosh, what's his name? I forgot his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Robert De Niro, thank you. I read your lips. He talks about that all the time, right? He says, this is the family of trust. And if you're not in here, you're not family. Those are the people that we already have the relationship built up with. We already have the trust established, right? And I'm not saying that it's going to be a sure thing every single time. If we reach out to them, they're going to sign up, but that takes off that little bit of additional time of like trying to convince them to take this alongside with them, right? So plug them in to their warm market. Of course, we want to go ahead and get them the best results, right? But again, that has to go back to knowing their pace and knowing their journey. Next is that leadership development. Okay. And again, it's hard for us to put a definition of what that true leader looks like and what rank is that. But again, I think if you have one person up under you, you put somebody on these products, or you plug somebody else into this business, you are that leader, because we're the GPS, right? We're just seeing where they want to go, and we're going to give them the right tools. One of the coolest things about what Silver Development actually brings to the table is that retention rate. Something that we've actually seen, and I don't have the updated number from this year, but in previous years, we found out that if you got somebody to go silver within the first 90 days of their business, they would actually stay 15 plus months down the road, right? And that's huge, because again, it's not only either somebody just really wanting that relationship of a few, it's kind of like a sorority sometimes with us, right? Or if it is that financial gain for them, even if it is $50 extra a month, that actually can play a part. Or it's even just seeing the results for themselves and just feeling good about yourself and just sharing your journey. Once we hit silver, I feel like it's a real thing at that point, right? The biggest thing is we have to go ahead and again duplicate that same message out and train them the right way and give them the right tools. And the coolest thing about Plexus now, compared to when I first joined even, is we have all that training. We have everything simplified down. We have everything broken down. Every little graphic that we have is in your back office. That is that's like the NASA space station. That's where we're calling back every single time, because that's where all the tools are. That's where the direction is, right? The biggest little bit of advice I can give you, do not overcomplicate this, because again, this business is easy and it's hard at the same time. The hardest part is building up the relationship and having somebody bought into you, not the products, not the business. Consistency is key though for everything, right? And if we, again, I bounce back and forth, if you guys haven't noticed, kind of have like ADD, someone else sparks this, so sorry. Talking a little bit more of that consistency and that leadership, it all starts with you too. If these brand new ambassadors see you not enrolling, right, but you're going ahead and telling them, oh, you have to enroll this month, you have to develop a silver, you have to do this and this. If you're not doing that, how do you expect them to follow, right? Speed of the leader is speed of the pack all day long. So set individual goals with them. And again, meet them where they're working, right? Set the goal with them, not for them. I don't know how many times I can say that, because that's very important. Because I know, like me, I have a very strong red personality, and sometimes I don't like people telling me what to do. Okay, I'll be guilty of that. It's me and my fiance. We battle all day long because she's that same personality. It's a lot of fun at home, but I don't want somebody else to set that goal for me. I don't want somebody else to set that metric, because I know what I'm capable of personally. Unless somebody takes the time to really understand how fast I want to go, what my strengths are, and what my weaknesses are, nobody can ever set that goal for you, right? And if they really don't understand how to set a goal, give them an example of again, an enrollment goal for this month, and give them the tools that they can use firsthand. I think that's the biggest thing. If we set goals with them or for them, you better have that plan of action to go right with it, right? It's like being prepared. Let's see. Went over silver development, 4 pillars, what leadership is. I'll throw a little bit at you, okay? So what I've been seeing personally this month is this is one of the most incredible years that I've ever actually witnessed with Plexus, and it's really cool for me to personally see that. This month is more of that relationship, I feel like, type of planning, right? Because we have a lot of really good stuff coming next month. Now, I can tell you, and I'm like looking around, I heard somebody else say this on a call today, so I can't get in trouble. Leaders Retreat will be announced on Saturday, right? That's when it's going to start. The biggest thing that I can tell you, because I've seen this last year, what happened is we took the very first month off, and not you directly, but individuals took the first month off. If you do that, you will not achieve your goals at the end of this contest, right? So really, as a whole, what I want, Shelby's like, yep. What I want us all to do on this call, I want to keep each other accountable to the goals that we're going to set, right? And I don't know if we can go ahead and put a team chat together or something like that, where we all go ahead and say what we want to achieve for leaders. And again, we're all a team, so don't feel like you have to like set a huge goal just because Kara did or because Shelby did, right? You achieve what you want first, even if it's a lower goal at first, hit it, move on to the next one, right? But this is going to be huge for your business, because I know what tools we have coming, okay? I know what the possibilities are. The biggest thing is just making the commitment to yourself and making commitment to everybody on this call that you're going to put your business first. Because I think one of the coolest things, and let me see if I have this. Where'd it go? Oh, okay, here we go. So this is from the annual income disclosure statement from Plexus, okay? I love saying this because it's so true. Your success depends on your effort, commitment, skill, and leadership abilities, and how effectively you exercise those qualities. Okay, I'll say that one more time. Your success depends on your effort, commitment, skills, and leadership abilities, and how effectively you exercise those qualities. Pretty much, to condense that down, it means you decide if you're successful based off of your activity. We don't control other people, unfortunately, but what we can control are our conversations, our relationships that we build, and again, how many people you actually reach out to, okay? That's the cool thing about this business. We control what we do. We don't control our paycheck quite yet, but we have all the tools right in front of us. I'm one of this is going to make me sound really bad. I'm one of those tools, right, that you can use. I'm here to help you and assist you. I'm so happy nobody else heard that, because they would be cracking up if I said that, if I'm a tool. But this is going to be an awesome relationship for us, as we're going to work together and more. That's why I really want everybody to get in the chat. I want us to put your goals there already, and we're absolutely going to kill this next quarter of the year. Alrighty. And I know I might have went a little bit over. We have 6 minutes, so if anybody has a question, let me know. Just go ahead and unmute yourself, ask away. And if not, if you want to do it offline, add me on Facebook, just Dyllan Wild. For some reason, I have like it looks like a prom photo where I have like my jacket like over like this, and I'm like, so just add me on there.
So should we cancel our Doe memberships, whoever's paying for it?
Oh, I'm sorry, what? So what I can, so there, I don't know exactly when, but we are definitely working on something to compete with that, right? And it's going to be like 10 times better. So I won't say it's going to be a competition. We're going to blow them out of the water, and it's going to be specifically for Plexus ambassadors. I just don't know the timeline of that, honestly. I don't know if it's this year or next year. So
Perfect.
if that's what you're using right now, awesome. Stay consistent with it.
So keep paying month to month.
Yeah.
I don't
guess
mind
so.
it. I love it. I think it's a great tool, and I think everyone should utilize it if they can.
Again, I mean, one, it's a tax write-off too for your business too, so that's, I guess, a benefit. But definitely, there's some stuff in the works. So, anybody else have any questions at all? I promise you, I don't bite. I don't judge. I just told you how crappy of a coach I was when I first started. So I feel like we have a good friendship now, good working relationship.
I have a question.
Awesome. Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday is June 1st. Is
You're,
our money to be going towards our leaders retreat goals and stuff like that?
yes, yeah. So did you say like the
The
you're
whole
kind of yeah.
will be counted towards, like, after we go to convention in the middle of June, will they like take our whole month of June and put that towards our leaders retreat?
Retroactive it, yes, yeah,
They will.
to June 1st. Yep.
No, you said something about leaders retreat being announced. That'll be announced at convention, right? Not this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Okay.
It's gonna be announced at convention. It's awesome. It's really cool. I actually get to go out there this year, non-working. Actually, they what happens is your 5-year anniversary, you get sent out to leaders retreat, and they pay for everything. I'm wherever it is. I'm very excited to go. So just get ready, y'all. I've trained myself to try not to give anything away, by the way.
You said go out, so we're thinking out west.
Is that not going to happen again this year? Like, if somebody makes it, are they still going to be able to actually go to leaders retreat this year, unlike last year with the cruise?
I can't say anything because that will. Well, yes.
If you make it, you
We
go.
have more availability.
Okay.
I'll just say that. Sorry, I have to be very careful about what I say. So, but yeah. So, biggest thing that I can just tell you guys real quick. Just stay consistent with your goals. Stay consistent with your activity on a month-to-month basis. What I personally would shoot for, right? This is just what goal I would want to go for. 3 enrollments, and that's ambassador or customer, because again, you control the conversation, you control the relationship, because you know where they belong in this business, right? And 1 is a silver. Again, if we are staying consistent with our reach outs, we're staying consistent with our follow-ups from previous ambassadors over the past 90 days, we have a bucket of people that we can develop, right? So what I want to shoot for, 3 enrollments and 1 silver every single month, and just see where your business goes. And I know it's harder than what I say. I think, I never wanted to come across on you need to do it like that, go develop a silver. I know it's hard, but just see what that can do for your organization. See what it can do for your business personally. It will take off in a insane way that you never thought was possible. This is something that I even tell diamonds, and I can somewhat project out what your business can look like a little bit. And their eyes are madly open, insanely open. It's really cool. So, if y'all have any questions, please let me know. I would love to connect with you all again. So let's go ahead and think about maybe doing a call after convention time when everyone is still